Thank you. Wow, that was really nice. Yeah, I'm Jeff, and I appreciate the opportunity to be here today. Just curious, for the people that are sitting here, anyone here ever try to lose weight? By show of hands, anyone? Anyone here never care at all about losing weight? I ask for a reason because if I do this, maybe. Well, go ahead, just next slide. See, that's me. Now, this talk is not about how to lose weight. This is not another how I lost weight talk. But see, that's me. I'm here. I don't know. We know each other, though, really well. But the thing is, I went through a process, a journey. And during my journey, what I discovered is something, which is why I'm here, which is about crowdsourced motivation. The idea that you can actually share something with a crowd and have a big something happen to you. This is about big ideas. We're at TED. So this is really, for me, how I got motivated by my crowd to do something pretty big for me. And I hope to really share with you how you could do the same thing. Just to set the stage, maybe you just click through this. That's me. You see, I was a kid. I even had a puppy. And the thing is, I was a skinny kid. Next page. And I made it through college. And I'll point out to you, I was still kind of skinny. So weight to me never really mattered. Neither did many other things. But I was having fun. And I enjoyed having fun. I had a vibrancy about enjoying life, which I try to bring on to everyone wherever I go. And weight to me did not matter. It's just the fun did. But then something happened. You see, that's also me. Over the next 20 years, I got fat. Yeah, I got really fat. And those of you who actually have been politely overweight in your life, perhaps you always deny things. Perhaps it's in the back of your mind. But in real life, it's painful. I can tell you that version of me, if he had to walk 4 blocks in New York City, he took a taxi. It's not because he wanted to. It's because his Achilles heels were so locked down. It was painful. I have twin sons, and for most of my life, they were always 3 or 4 blocks ahead of me whenever we went out because I couldn't keep up. That person had trouble going out to eat at restaurants. He always had to sit in a chair and never a booth because he didn't fit. That person couldn't go to movies unless he sat on the aisle. And forget about flying, which was a disaster, just trying to fit into a seat. It was a very hard, painful existence. And in the world, there are lots of things you can do about yourself. Friends of mine used to suggest I should go exercise. I used to tell them I exercise judgment. And Gio, if you're watching, you know what I mean. But I really do believe, and other people suggest that I should exercise because it's just good for you. But I didn't appreciate that. And I didn't appreciate the power of endorphins until a little bit later in my life. But I knew something had to change. Those of you who have kids, you may be familiar with a law that we look at called the law of readiness, where kids are able to only do a certain thing as their development at different stages. But it's not just for babies. It is for adults, too. This law of readiness says that you're ready when you're ready. And it's something which is meaningful in a very big way. For me, it meant that I had to go through a lot of change in order to be ready. And so I finally had the courage to go see a family doctor. And I checked in with him. And I had this crazy notion that what I really should do is go for gastric bypass surgery. But I really didn't want to. Next slide. That was me. June 7th, I went to see my doctor. I was 334. If you would have told me I was 350 during that year, I wouldn't be surprised because my scale didn't go past 300. But I actually only recorded as 332 because I negotiated with his nurse that I couldn't believe I was so fat that she felt bad for me, so she put 2 pounds off my weight. But I'll just point out that my triglycerides were high and that something had to change. It was me. And it took a little bit of time, but thankfully, my friends, and I started sharing very confidently with a few people, not my crowd, but a few people what to do. And a friend of mine suggested I should bypass the bypass. This is my friend Mel Rosenberg, Mel, I know you're watching. He's in Tel Aviv, and he suggested to bypass the bypass. But how do you do that? So you do it by doing a life reboot. And I do believe that everyone deserves a second chance. I believe being alive has much more benefits for you than the alternatives. And that if you take an interest in your body, you can do amazing things. Now, how many people here have exercised in their life? See, I am in the minority. All of you have muscle memory. I suffered from muscle amnesia. I had not been in the park to exercise since I was in 10th grade. I had a 2-year gym pass because I dislocated my left shoulder as a kid, and it did not help me. But I started exercising 5 minutes a day every few days because that's the best I could do. It took a month. I joined a gym for the first time. I had never been in a gym since high school. It was crazy. And I was talking to my friend Alon Ganor, who suggested something which I never considered, which was to share my journey with friends. He says, you have a lot of friends. You don't want to disappoint them. You should share. Now, I wasn't sharing. I'm very open, and if those of you who may know me, I'm on Twitter, Facebook, and I share ideas. I don't hold back anything. But this I kept private. This I particularly kept my own personal heaviness to me. But I figured out, you know what? I'm going to share. But I'm going to share, and I thought about this. It took me about 5 weeks. I wrote myself a manifesto. There were two things I decided to do. I wanted to lose 100 pounds, and I wanted to be able to do a one-arm push-up, because I thought it'd be cool. And well, I was in awe of those things. I can't play jazz piano, but I figured maybe I could do a one-arm push-up. That would be great. Next slide. So it took me until October, but I wrote and shared my manifesto. That's a photo of me trying to exercise. Nothing is impossible. And I start to open up and share. And I might notice that the first time I got a double-double. It's 93 likes and 74 comments. I shared this. Next slide. And the crowd starts to share back. I immediately started feeling love. I immediately started feeling energy coming back to me. I just opened up, and Shauna, she starts to share. Now, next page. And this was really nuts to me. I'm in the gym. Those of you who work out, you can do a lat pull down. No big deal. 500 plus likes, particularly from people who I don't think like me. And they're all there. And what I'm seeing is that the crowd likes, the crowd comments. I had 533 likes, 147 comments on that one photo. People are coming back to me, and I'm feeling it. And we don't have time here to show you all the comments, but it's love. It is amazing what happens by reaching out. Next slide. And then things start to happen. My triglycerides go from 265 to 56. People like that. I used to wear 3X shirts. Try 3X plus. I've gotten to an XL shirt. Today I'm wearing an L. Actually, medium fits too. And my cardiologist started taking down my blood pressure meds. People like to hear this. I am opening up. I'm sharing. People are giving back. I'm getting energy. I'm sharing life moments, and I'm with the crowd, and they're with me. And they could be with you. You just have to open up and share. You can't lie. You have to be accountable, and you have to be yourself. And when I finally put on a pair of jeans, I'm actually still wearing 34 right now, although I think I fit into small jeans. 651 likes just saying this. Because the fact is, I really didn't go clothing shopping for a long time because basically going in the changing room, putting on pants, and popping those buttons is pretty embarrassing. So is for those of you who may know people who are overweight. You know, when we go out, we like to stand out for good reasons, not because we're big and fat. And particularly when we sit down in chairs and we break them, it's no fun for anyone. But we got there. This crowd was engaged with me, and I thought this was the most amazing thing. This crowd is alive. It's not just words. It's people, and they follow you. Wherever I travel in the world, there are always people who know my story. It's just the most amazing thing. And then Father's Day. Dylan and Jake, I have twin sons. They go to college. They go to Colgate. They'll be 20 next month. They're sophomores. First time in 19 years I did anything athletic with my kids. We played a game of shoot-around basketball. I did. I cannot tell you what that felt like. But it was pretty cool. And I was really far behind them all the time when we were walking, going out, but I caught up. So did my body. And I did do this conference. That was Father's Day. A couple of days later was something. I'll just show you what I ended up doing. I did this. And then I actually was able to do a one-arm push-up. And yeah, I did it on the slide too, but I figured it'd be more. Next slide. So I did that on stage at the conference I wanted to do. Next slide. And I continued to do that. And thing is, I had a goal to lose 100 pounds, but my doctor said, no, you should lose 114 pounds. Now, when you try to lose 100 pounds, what's 114? So I documented getting down to 100. I shared that. That got 1,000 likes. Now, and I'm not a fan of this like economy on Facebook, but 1,000 likes, come on, thank you. Thank you. And that was August of last year. Then September, I got down to 110 pounds, almost my goal. Next page. And there I reached my goal. And at the end of October, got to 220 pounds, which was my goal weight. And I continued, that got 867 likes. And it's not like the numbers matter so much, but there are people out there, they hear you, they feel you, they're with you. It is the most amazing, empowering thing to know that there's love. I go for love, not likes. And there are people, they're truly there. And what's the amazing part is that they open to you. I cannot tell you how many hundreds of people over the last 12 months have shared with me their journeys, shared with me their stories, asked me for advice, asked me for help. And I'm not a doctor, I'm not a nutritionist, I don't necessarily know all the answers. I could tell you based on my own readings that everybody's a snowflake. There's no one book written that 1 million people will read and 1 million people will lose 100 pounds from, because it doesn't exist. Our DNA does not allow that. For myself, I discovered if I want to raise my metabolism, I had to put on muscle. It is muscle first. And so I went 6 months, I just put on muscle. I only changed my diet after the end of that, and then it's been remarkable what happened with me, but everyone's different. And then I checked in with my doctor recently. My weight was 210, and from 334, that's pretty good, no? And then my triglycerides were down, and someone had to change. That was me, but go to the next slide. What I'm really talking about here today, this is, the idea is anyway, I don't know if any of you remember, you're not old enough to know Ferris Bueller's Day Off, but imagine being in a parade, in the center of a parade, and it's for you. When you walk down the street, the people are cheering for you. Can everyone make a loud applause right now, please? Very loud. Louder, 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 louder. All right. That's what it feels like when I post on Facebook. That's what I kid you not. I kid you not. Having that energy directed to you is so empowering, but so, humbling. It is so humbling to me every time when someone writes, and sometimes I cry when I read these comments, and when I connect with people, it is such a responsibility, but it's a powerful one. For everyone who does a journey on their own, yeah, it's like being in New York City on a Sunday morning at 4:30, walking down deserted streets all by yourself. You know you're alone. You know that maybe you have some solitude, but there's a lot of loneliness with that. But when you can hear that cheer again, I need it for the audio. Come on, bring it up. Come on, loud. Right? That's what you get. That's what you get. Next slide. So this could be you. You're able to, everyone in this room, everyone watching this, you all can have your crowd help you reach your big goals. It's not just for Jeff trying to lose weight. This is not about weight loss. This is about life. This is about embracing something that you care about greatly and letting your friends and your community and your crowd come in and help you out. But there's a price. You got to be open. You have to be willing to share. And you're willing to be vulnerable and willing to be yourself and willing to open up and let other people feel you. For those of you who are trapped inside yourselves, that might be a difficult thing, but give it a try. The power of the crowd is amazing. It knows no limits. You can, if you go for the right kind of crowd and you just share with yourself, greatness will happen. Listen, connect, share, and engage. 4 words that I learned a long time ago apply to connecting to your crowd. If you're going to listen with them, if you can share something meaningful, if you could engage with them, you're golden. And again, some people don't want to be vulnerable. They have a hard time opening up and sharing life moments. But I have no regrets. I have no regrets whatsoever in sharing or caring. And these are not just words. These are feelings, that elation, that adrenaline that you feel. Being able for me to be able to do this and really not even think about doing push-ups. Anyone who knows the old Jeff Pulver, this is like effing impossible. Like, no way. Like, no one's actually going to get, I was thinking of actually giving my entire talk just giving push-ups at the same time. But the thing is, and my friends on Facebook, every time I go to the gym, every time I work out, every time I do something, I share it. I share it as a reminder for myself what I'm doing. And if I can do it, anyone can do it. And I might add to this, I didn't start this journey until I was turning 50. And it was if someone would have told me it was impossible to do this, to that I say nothing is impossible. Nothing is impossible, because if you find a way to drive yourself, to make change happen, it's not only the change you bring into yourself, it's the change you bring to your friends. Because when you're connecting to your crowd is responding. Not everybody's coming in and applauding you. They're taking it in themselves. And they're connecting to their friends, and what you're creating is this amazing chain reaction. so that you're able to change the world by changing yourself. By taking a moment and sharing some love to you, you have a positive opportunity to touch and change the world around you. You just have to start. Every journey takes that first step forward. It's not cliche, it's real life. For everyone who ever told me, go to the gym, you'll have fun, thank you. But I didn't get the fact that one day I'd be addicted to a drug called endorphins. I never got the idea that that drug is inside me. And all I have to do to activate it is to show a little faith. I'm amazed every day when I'm out connecting with people, sharing with them and feeling things. I have no regrets for any of this, maybe for having to take most of my life until I got to this moment in time. But as long as I'm on this planet, I will hopefully get other people to care about themselves enough to take their own journeys. In whatever field you want to go, make it happen. And have the confidence in yourself to open up and share with others. Because when people can come back to you and share with you and resonate with you, the world changes. I'm Jeff Pulver. Thanks a lot for having me today.